Welcome to section 2. In this section, we are going to model a total 10 different cosmetic products, and each products have their challenges when you start modeling them. When you finish modeling all of these products at the end of this sections, you will have a pretty solid understanding about how to do product modeling. And for this video, we are going to start with a very simple eyebrow pencil. So let's get started. And when you see here, here's the viewport and everything being set up as the way we want it to be. We are going to hit Shift A to adding something. All right. First, we need to have a reference image. So for product modeling, for any type of modeling, we need to have a pretty good reference. So to start with that, you see an image, there is a reference and backgrounds. We're not going to using all these. We are just going to simply adding an empty image right here. And after you add it in here, you can see there's a window on the left hand corner pop out. It said add empty. We just need to change the line to the view. So basically the image is facing to us. And also we are in the front view. The next thing we're going to do here, we're going to select the empty and we're going to go here. And now we're going to load the image. Okay. And then find our reference image. All these reference images are going to provide it in your support file, so no worry about it. Eyebrow pencil reference, open image. Now you will see this one right here. Because this is a PNG image, so the rest of these areas are transparent. So it's pretty easy to do when you do modeling. So what I will do here, I'm just gonna hit the G and to grab it and move up. Okay, as you can see here, we are not really centered there right here. So I'm going to hit GX and to grab it, move it to around the center areas. Okay, I often get a question that when we modeling products, do we need to really creating 3D models based on the actual physical measurement or the actual physical size of the product? Well, the answer is yes and no. Yes, it's because when you actually going to model a series of products and then it's going to represent and working for other maybe game engine or maybe just for rendering or somebody wanted to reuse it, it's easier to just get the size differences between each model, because within series there are certain items that are supposed to be smaller than the others. It will be easier just following the right physical size. However, for no, which means you don't have to do that, you can easily resize your models. It doesn't take that long anyway. I'm going to show you how to model a product based on physical size. For example, for this brow pencil, usually these kind of brow pencils are around 13 centimeters. So what I can do here is I already have the reference image, but I need making sure this is resized properly. So I can do Shift A to add a whatever is a mesh or a rectangular, doesn't really matter. I'm just gonna add a cube real quick. So the size is showing 2 meters. So I'm just going to put 0.04. So which means this is the 14 centimeters now. So because this 0.14 meters, so it's translated is good about 14 centimeters. Okay, so what I will do next, I'm just gonna resize this reference image and according to this. Okay, gonna hold Alt Z to go to actor mode, hit G and Z to grab it in here. So and select the empty, the reference image, and scale up and GZ, just roughly getting the size ready. Okay, so now I can simply just delete that cube and start working on modeling according to that. So when you finish that, you will see this is going to be the accurate size for your product. So much easier to do. You don't really need spending time to really adjusting to see how big is this thing is and to max it with the measurement. So this is much simple and easier way to get things done properly according to the actual physical measurement. Okay, cool. Well, let's get started to really model this pencil. This is very easy model, and if you're absolute beginners, you can do this as well. And this basically is just a cylinder shape, and then we're just gonna having a different textures on this product, and it looks very nice. And what we will do here for modeling, we don't need to think about texture. We're not even think about this as a black and white pictures. We're just thinking the shape, okay? So we're looking for shape. So the shape is going to be a cylinder. So what I will do here, next we are going to hit Shift A to adding a mesh, and then we're looking for a cylinder. Click that. Now you can see there's left hand side, there's a window pop out. If we zoom out in here, you can see that the cylinder is way too big because the Blender default setting is based on meters. So this is like 2 meters long for a pencil. This is crazy, right? Yeah. So that's one thing that I really not a big fan of, to model everything according to the physical size at the beginning. We can just do the default settings and everything can quickly done, and then we can resize the whole thing right after that. So that's kind of like annoying when you're adding a new mesh. You have to resize it every single time you do it. Just for the sake of accuracy, I think this is a little bit annoying. So let's do this. Alt Z to go to the actor mode, and we're gonna hit S to scale down. And we can just scale this thing down right here, and as you can see here, this is well centered, and apparently the reference image is off the center. So we're gonna select the reference image, hit the GX. I'm just gonna grab it in here and continue size down the cylinder and the reference image X. And you can hold Shift to kind of do small increment. I think this is pretty much done in here. Very accurate now. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to go inside of edit mode. Remember, you already installed the machine tools. When you're holding the tab key, don't release when you press it, and then you can just move your cursor up, and then you see the edit mode has been highlighted in here, and release that. Now you directly go to the edit mode. Also, the vertex point is getting a little bit bigger. It's really much better. It's much easier for us to view. So what we'll do here, we're going to do Alt Z and go to the X-ray mode and select the top vertex, and making sure you can double check around areas, everything being selected. You can just gonna go hit the G and grab it, or you can just have to hit the arrow key and just drag up. So whatever you're comfortable, and hit G and Z, go up all the way here. Okay, so this is kind of like the areas that I wanted to stop right here, and then I'm gonna hit the E one more time and hit the grab it and the scale down, hit S and kind of like scale down right here. So as you can see here, we have pretty good modeling on the top pretty quickly. And for the bottom part, you see there's a kind of curve going on here. We're gonna select the whole thing, hit the G and grab it, and Z axis and stop right here, and hit E, Z, and scale all the way down here. Yeah, you probably think, well, this is kind of a curve. Well, the next thing we are going to do, we are going to adding a loop cut. Okay, Control R and hit that, and then we do this, and then left click and hit S to scale up. Okay, and the same thing, we're gonna adding more loop cut. Control R in here and hit S to scale, and Control R, scale up. Okay, and one more, Control R, scale up. It's pretty rough curve, but we are going to adding a modifier to make it look very smooth. So the bottom part is done, and then we are going to go to the top areas. As you can see here, these are small minor details, and if you don't do it right, it's just going to look off and it looks unrealistic when you're doing modeling. If I'm close the empty and go to the tab Z X-ray mode, and also get out the Object mode, so you can see here, this is pretty cool texture pencil, but this is way too sharp, and there's no way that a pencil can be that sharp. And so what we're going to do here next, we are going to adding a modifier. So we can go to this kind of a wrench icon, so it's called a modifier property. You can adding a modifier to, this is called subdivision service modifier, or you can just call it subserve, and hit that, then you will see things get destroyed all the time. Then what we can do here, you can see we have a viewport and a render. We can just pump up with 2. Another way you can do is just gonna hold control and select numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 according to your subservice levels you want to go. So if we're gonna go control 2, watch what happened over here. Select this model, see what's happened. Control 2, you'll see a subserve modifier added on, and already have 2 level of subservice modifier apply on to it. So next thing we're going to do here, we're going to hit tab, go to the edit mode. We are going to adding some loop cut. For this part of pencil, this transitioning from a smooth straight body to the sharp end. So this part is not supposed to be this smooth. So what we can fix this is go to the Alt Z actor mode, select the entire loop cut, and Control B to bevel that, and then you can just see we have too much bevel over here added on, so we can changing the segment to just 2 should be fine. So we have pretty nice and clean bevel going on here, and you can see here there's a pretty smooth transitioning from the sharp to the other end. And what we can do next, we are just going to adding more loops, support loops, Control R, just do that in general, and then we can just scrolling the middle mouse row and then just do that. Okay, so next thing we're going to fix is top. We can select that loop on the top and Control B to bevel that, just tiny bevel, don't do too much, and then you can see we have a nice curve going on here. It's a very subtle details, but it looks much more realistic when you do these things around here on that small detail. We'll go to the object mode and see, yeah, it looks pretty nice. Well, when you double check with this model, I still feel this top one a little bit too sharp. What we can do, we're just gonna to go to the edit mode, select this top loop. You're going to hold Alt and then click this loop, and then it's gonna select the entire one, and then we're just going to hit S to scale down a little bit and let the subsurface modifier work to get this a little bit smoother edge, and then we're gonna come out from the edit mode. So now we're looking good. And for this one, is apparently for modeling part, this is finished. So this is pretty easy one, but there's a small details that we just added on. You will see different techniques applied in other product cases. I will see you then.